control their power, I will make universes collide.
Hello everyone, it is me, Mega Maniacs here, back for another video. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at one of the biggest LEGO games ever made, the most ambitious LEGO game ever made, and one that I just couldn't help but talk about. Yes, today we are going to be talking about LEGO Dimensions. Now you might be wondering, why are you talking about this again? Because if you are new here, which a lot of you are, thank you by the way, you might not realize that back in April of last year I made a video already going over LEGO Dimensions. It was one of the first videos in the LEGO game saga. The reason why I'm talking about it again is because, well, that last video was kind of bad. You see, it was okay. I covered a very surface level, but I want to dive deeper into how LEGO Dimensions failed, all of the other like really goofy semi-games that are just in here. Without further ado, let's get started. So now it's time to talk LEGO Dimensions. You might be wondering, what is a LEGO Dimensions? Well, LEGO Dimensions is part of a very, and I mean very, dead genre of video game called Toys to Life. This was popularized by Skylanders, of all things. Of course, it somehow always goes back to Skylanders. And it was a genre that was very, very popular for a good little bit there. It was a huge craze where basically your toys basically just like came to life in a video game, and you could, you know, use the, like, it's more of an interactive, like, bringing elements of the video game into the real world, if that makes any sense. Skylanders was it was insanely popular, with wild for many years, and this spawned a whole bunch of copycats, and one of those being LEGO Dimensions. Now, LEGO Dimensions was a very odd LEGO game because this is so different to any other LEGO game, and that's mostly why I want to make this video, because yeah, I did make a video on this game a while ago, but this has so much lore to it. It has a lot good with it and a lot bad with it, and in many ways it is both a fantastic game and a very odd LEGO game. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about the physical aspect of LEGO Dimensions with the toy pad, the level packs, the fun packs. We're also going to be talking about the level story expansions, the actual game itself, and the unfortunate downfall and demise of LEGO Dimensions. Let's go right ahead and get into it. LEGO Dimensions was released in September of 2015, making it a really long time since this game first dropped. Good lord, it feels like yesterday. But LEGO Dimensions dropped, and this game was extremely different to every other game. Like I said, it was a Toys to Life game, which meant it was a physical game. Like, you couldn't buy this digitally, because the way this game worked is you had to buy the toy pad. Now, the toy pad is a very interesting function in Toys to Life. Your starter pack was quite expensive because, you know, this was a lot of hardware you had to build here. But it was basically a Lego set you had to buy to play LEGO Dimensions, is the best way I could put it. in said starter pack, you've got 3 minifigures, a vehicle build, and your toy pad. Those 3 minifigures being the main cast of the game: Batman, Wildstyle, and Gandalf the Grey, along with a little mini micro Batmobile build. The actual build for the LEGO Dimensions portal was placed on the toy pad, which really wasn't like a LEGO piece, kind of. It was extremely specialized, but there was the portal build that was added on top of that. Now, something interesting about the physical aspect of LEGO Dimensions is it didn't come with an instruction manual. I think there might have been some that had an instruction manual, maybe, but the one I got didn't have an instruction manual, because what you were supposed to do is build this while playing the game. So you'd boot up the toy pad just empty without anything on it. You would go through the opening cutscenes, building Gandalf, Wildstyle, and Batman as you do that. And then you would, in-game, reconstruct the broken LEGO Dimensions portal, and then a digital instruction booklet would pop up in-game, and you would have to do that in-game. You didn't have a physical version. Which means that if you didn't play the game, you can't build the set before you actually play the game. It is odd, but I think this becomes way bigger of an issue with the other little builds you get, because as far as I remember, you didn't get instruction manuals for these builds. For like your little builds in the fun packs or whatever. Meaning that if you were someone who didn't have the LEGO Dimensions game, but just bought the little builds for cheap minifigures, because that was something you could do, you couldn't build the build that was included in your fun pack. You would have to look up the instructions online for someone who, or look up a guide someone who uploaded the instruction manual from the game. I think that was probably the wrong move. Yeah, I get it was to be immersive and whatever, but I think that was probably not a great idea. Especially because there was a large majority of people who just bought the fun packs for cheap minifigures, and that was about it. So they just couldn't build the thing, and you'd be kind of cooked. Now, what about these fun packs that I'm talking about? Well, there is a lot of them to go through. The LEGO Dimensions had, of course, your starter pack, and then a bunch of little expansion packs which had extra characters that you had to buy separately. Usually these were pretty cheap, and some of them had older, retired figures like Bane and Wonder Woman, although there was some completely new and original figures with some amazing printing and new molds, like E.T., Jake from Adventure Time, the Gremlins, you know. Some absolutely fantastic, newly molded minifigures that were truly ahead of their time, along with introductions for other LEGO themes, such as Sonic the Hedgehog, who got his first ever LEGO appearance in LEGO Dimensions. And the best part about these is that, unlike the Skylanders or Disney Infinity or the other Toys to Life games, the minifigures were not stuck to their toy tags, meaning that you could just take the figure off the little toy tag thing, and boom, you have a fully functional, normal LEGO minifigure. Which I feel was the best way to go, and that probably accounted for a lot of LEGO Dimensions sales, of people just buying them for the minifigure, because they were cheap, they had some very good exclusive minifigures. It was great, it was fantastic. I think I would have had a huge conniption if they had, for example, like the newer LEGO magnets to where they're stuck to the magnet and you can't just take the figure off, or like the keychains, which leaves you a very cursed LEGO minifigure if you try to forcefully remove the keychain from it. I think this was probably the best way to go, and Honestly, I'm gonna say it. I think this makes it one of the most pro-consumer Toys to Life games, because unlike the other ones to where you pretty much have to buy expansion packs, LEGO Dimensions, it's entirely optional, and you can even just buy them without having bought the game for those people who just want to collect cool minifigures. So, I gotta give LEGO Dimensions props for that. That's huge. That's crazy, and I gotta give them props for that. But what about the actual game? What about the thing that you actually bought the thing for, okay? If you bought the starter pack, you probably didn't buy it for Gandalf, Wildstar, or Batman. You probably bought it for the game. So, how is the game? Well, I have a lot of positives and a lot of negatives. But, for the most part, the first half of this game is peak LEGO game. I think there's a lot to love here. I think the overall presentation is something that we have never seen before in LEGO, and something we will probably never see again. The insane collaborations being used here is something only rivaled by Fortnite, genuinely. Like, it is wild. The story basically is Lord Vortak, the main villain of this game, who is an absolute boss, someone who is just one of the coolest LEGO original characters I think they have ever made. He is basically just trying to take over the multiverse. And 343 Guilty Spark, yeah, that guy, the guy from Halo, who is just here for some reason, not officially, but come on, it's literally the same guy, grabs Gandalf, Batman, and Wildstar, and they have to go defeat Lord Vortak. It's a very simple premise, like the most bare-bones multiversal premise you can do, but it leads to some really crazy stuff. Like, the first actual level of this game takes place in the Wizard of Oz universe, and it only gets crazier from here. I think some of the best levels in this game are the earlier levels in the game. The Doctor Who level, I'm a pretty big Doctor Who fan. I never talk about that because I never have a reason to talk about that on this channel, but I love Doctor Who, so I gotta say, these levels were so cool. The Doctor Who level itself was fantastic. There's a Sauron boss fight, which is just, oh, it is just peak. Like, I gotta say, like, the enemy encounters, the boss fights are so unbelievably good in this game. I definitely think the Sauron boss fight is the best boss fight in this game. I absolutely love it. It is so good. Like, and it's kind of wild because you're jumping through universe to universe, and it just leads to some very interesting moments. Like, you go to the Scooby-Doo universe, or the Portal universe, or Sauron invading the DC universe. You have, like, never in my life did I think I'd be fighting Saruman on a snake in the Ninjago universe. Yeah, they actually go to the Ninjago universe in this game, and it's kind of wild. I also gotta say, for the most part, this is some of the best puzzles in a LEGO game. And it kind of has to do with the toy pad, because you see, the puzzles in this game have to do with the toy pad. You gotta constantly be moving your figures around on the toy pad, and that's translating to in-game effects, such as the portal puzzles, where you're hopping from portal to portal, the elemental puzzles, the color puzzles, which were very interesting. I gotta say, some are built better than others. The, like, weird, like, searching puzzle with, like, the searching thing, where you get, like, the eye, like, prompt, and you have to go just walk around, and, like, if your toy pad is glowing more green, you're closer to it. It's basically, like, it's not, like, I think that one's kind of lame, honestly, and it's just not really that cool, but most of the other ones are very interesting puzzles, And they're not boring either. Like, they kept me engaged and kept me thinking. I think some LEGO games definitely fall victim to boring, just easy puzzles. This game isn't too easy, and it's also not too hard. Although I do think they could explain things better, like with the color mixing, there's this one moment where I had to make the color green, and you're given red, blue, and yellow. But it's not that I couldn't just. It's not that I don't know how to make green with those colors. It's that I was only using one character to do so, and since one character can only have one color, I was extremely lost. And the like help tips in this game just are the most useless things ever. They just tell you make color green, and it's like, okay, but how do I do that? It turns out you have to get two characters. You have to reset the colors thing. You gotta get one guy on one color, and then you gotta switch to another guy and get him on the other color, and they have to be on the same part of the toy pad. So, I mean, once you like learn how to do it, it's not that bad. But I think they could have, you know, made it a little bit easier to learn that. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just spouting a bunch of nonsense, but for the most part, the first half of this game is the best half of this game. It was some of the best LEGO game experience I have ever had, and I don't mean that lightly. It was so fun. I'm genuinely so fun. Each level, you're gaining a new ability, like the elemental power, the portal power, and overall, it kept the pacing and flow of the game going very well. And then the western level hits, and the game kind of falls off a little bit. Now, I gotta say, I still liked the levels after, like, the halfway point, but after the Sauron fight, you are at peak power, right? You've reached your peak power. You have unlocked all of your abilities that you're gonna use for the rest of the game. And the game kind of goes to a standstill. Like, there's some games like the Western level and the weird arcade level and some of the other levels, like especially the levels at the end with Lord Vortek and his like world. They're not very good, I'm not gonna lie. Like, they were kind of boring, to be completely honest, and not that interesting. There are some exceptions to the rule. I think the Scooby-Doo level was very good and cool. I liked that a lot. I liked the Portal level a lot. I think that's where the puzzles in this game really peaked. The Portal level with GLaDOS was extremely good. It had a lot of very interesting puzzles that really made you think. Like, I think that level was really good, like actually peak, but there's a lot of levels in the later half of the game that were just kinda whatever. This would have been easily the best LEGO game, like, game-wise, ever made, if the second half was as strong as the first half. Like, I don't really care about fighting the Shrai, which is Robin, Frodo, and Metalbeard fused together. Like, he looks kinda cool, but, like, his boss fight's, like, kinda lame. And the final fight with Lord Vortek was extremely underwhelming. Like, I don't really even feel like the playable characters, Gandalf, Lao Tzu, and Batman, really beat Lord Vortek. Like, the Doctor kind of went on his own side quest and just bullied this man into a next dimension. Like, the Doctor absolutely bodied this guy. Like, he didn't stand a chance, I guess. Like, being completely honest, that final fight with Lord Vortek, it wasn't very good. Like, it wasn't bad, I gotta say. Like, the final fight wasn't bad, but it was just underwhelming. Like, you think for the final boss of the game, it would be the best boss, utilizing all of your mechanics that you have learned and mastered throughout the rest of the game. But you just kind of kill 5 guys, and then ram your car into them. And that's about it. It really isn't the best boss fight ever. I think it could have been better. I'm gonna be honest, it could have been a lot better. I think even, like, most of the boss fights, like the Lord Dialect and Sauron boss fights, are by far better than this one. And I was kind of hoping that it would have been a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. I think the final fight when you're, like, finally doing your great showdown against Lord Vortek, I think it definitely could have been better. On the topic of negative things I have to say about the game, as cool as the puzzles can be with the toy pad, I think maybe a little too small. Like, if you play this with other characters that you had bought, you run out of space really quickly, which means you kinda encourage to just use normal Shuri instead, because there's many times where I was, like, panicking to, like, in the middle of a boss fight, move a character off of a section of the toy pad that was being attacked, because enemies in this game can do that. The bosses can, like, attack one part of your toy pad and have you take everything off that section of the toy pad. But there was times to where I just knock everything off the toy pad, or knock figures off, or just destroy my entire setup, like my entire setup, because the placement of your figures on the toy pad is a big deal in this game, so it could be a little bit of an issue. Also, this game's main villain is awful. Not Lord Vortek, he's not the main villain of this game. The vehicles are the main villain of this game. You are going to hate your life if you use the vehicles in this game, which are needed to finish the game. It is horrible. The vehicles in this game are awful. Because they're so small and so mini, and they're, like, made to be built in real life, they don't really work like normal Lego vehicles. Listen, I have no idea who turned the sensitivity on these things up to 1,000,000, but screw you, okay? You made my experience playing this game so much worse, because it is so bad. Like, there's this one section on the, I think it's called Primetime level, where you're on Lord Vortek's, like, planet thing, and you have to drive the vehicle down a very narrow, straight path. But the vehicle doesn't want to go straight. It's just gonna go everywhere. Like, I'll be moving my stick in one direction, and it'll be going the opposite direction. I don't know what happened with the vehicles in this game, but they're really bad. I think it's also coupled by the fact that you cannot run people over with the vehicles because they're so small, meaning that your enemies can just block your way and just explode your car. Like, they could just beat you up in your car because you can't run them over. I don't know what happened to the cars in this game. Thankfully, you don't have to use them much, but they are very annoying. They will run into you while you're trying to do puzzles, and sometimes just spontaneously explode. Sometimes bosses will just get stuck in softlock on the vehicle because they're there. Like, dude, Bane got softlocked on my car. I don't know how that happened, but he did. And because there is no save from last checkpoint feature in this game, if you get softlocked, you just have to restart the level, which is not fun, let me tell you. And one other very minor nitpick that isn't really a nitpick because it doesn't really matter for the majority of LEGO Dimensions players, but some of the characters in this game just absolutely break it. Like, Sonic is so fast that he absolutely breaks the game. Like, he is so fast that the game just doesn't work. Like, he will either softlock the game, or you're gonna be inventing new speedrun tech. Actually, that would be a very interesting video, speedrunning LEGO Dimensions. I'll write that down. But overall, a lot of those issues are small nitpicks for the most part. I think the levels in the later half of the game are less good than the first half, but they're not bad, right? I would still rather play them than some of the other LEGO games that we've played for this channel, right? I played a lot of them, and trust me, some of them are not very good. And even the worst of the worst in this game is still way better than those, so I gotta give them props for that. A lot of the features are very good, very fleshed out, and I just think it is a very good experience. The post-game experience is also great. You have a multitude of different universes to explore. Basically, any character from any of the fun packs or starter packs or whatever that you bought you can just go to their world. If you don't buy any other expansion packs or whatever, you get to be able to explore the Lord of the Rings universe, DC Comics universe, and the Lego Movie universe, which are all great. They're all fantastic. But you unlock even more worlds to explore as you buy more fun packs, and there's a lot of really cool stuff in there. It does mean that 100%ing this game is an absolute nightmare, but I mean, good luck to anyone who dares to try to 100% LEGO Dimensions, because good lord, you're gonna be in for one hell of a ride. And there's also level packs, which are buyable extra levels that come with some of the other characters. For example, the Doctor Who level pack or the Sonic level pack. Both are probably the best level packs I personally own. They're really good. There's also some other good ones like the Goonies level pack. I mean, that's a classic. And overall, it's a great experience. Like, there's a lot of really cool stuff to do. Sonic level pack is fantastic. Doctor Who level pack's fantastic. And there's also some other stuff to do, like added later on, the Battle Arena was added, which is a whole other can of worms of a lot of fun, right? Playing that with friends was a fantastic experience. Sadly, I did not have any friends to play LEGO Dimensions with for this video, but, I mean, still, it could be a real fun time. Overall, the actual game of LEGO Dimensions is extremely good. I mean, like, some of the best LEGO game experience you can have. But, now it's time to talk about the downfall of LEGO Dimensions. Now, to contextualize how much this game fell off in the coming years, I want to show you the waves. Basically, the waves were new level packs, fun packs, whatever, that got added to the game as the game continued to age. When the game first launched in September of 2015, we got a whole bunch of expansions that dropped alongside it. That were Marty McFly, the girl from Portal, Homer, Owen and ACU, Scooby and Saggy, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Emmett, Bad Cop, Benny, Jay, Nia, and Zane, Gollum, Legolas, Gimli, Laval, Kragger, and Eris, and finally the Wicked Witch. Those are all dropped in Wave 1, meaning that, like, when this game first dropped, there was so much to do, so much to buy and explore. You could get the Scooby-Doo pack, and by the way, each of these packs usually had a new world, like the Sema world, the Ninjago world. Of course, there's some add-ons to stuff like Lord of the Rings and DC Comics that were already in, but you got like the Simpsons world, the Back to the Future world. There was so much being added so regularly. It was great. And the upcoming waves that came after did not disappoint either. There was still a lot being added. Like, for example, Wave 2 added Cole, Kai, Bart, Unikitty, and the Doctor. I don't know why the Doctor wasn't there to begin with, because he was a huge part of the game, but go off. But when we get to Wave 9, which was the final wave of LEGO Dimensions as the game was falling off, you can kind of tell that it was a bit unfinished, and there was a lot more that they wanted to do. Wave 9 had Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls, Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire from Teen Titans Go, and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is really the only interesting thing here, to be honest. And that was it. That was Wave 9. And it was very telling that there is still a lot more that they wanted to do. But why did LEGO Dimensions get cut? Like, why did they say, enough is enough, it's time to end it? Well, LEGO Dimensions was a little late to the scene, I'm gonna be honest. It was just not, it was just a little late. Skylanders was already on its, like, 5th game somehow. There's so many Skylanders games, I don't know how this happened. Disney Infinity was currently falling off, and from what I believe, around the same time Disney Infinity shut their doors, LEGO Dimensions did so as well. And I think it was probably the right call. Toys to Life is probably one of the most dead gaming genres possible. Like, you don't hear about a new Toys to Life game releasing, because it just doesn't happen. There is no new ones dropping. Like, even the most dead genres, like even genres that are considered dead, like RTS, which is nowhere near its prime back in the day, but you're still seeing some RTS games drop, and a new one even got sold at the Xbox Game Showcase. Like, there's still games from that genre dropping, and the old games are still exceedingly popular, but Toys to Life, no one playing Skylanders anymore. It ain't happening. So it was really the sign of the times. LEGO and TT Games, they saw the writing on the wall, and they knew it was time to call it quits. And with the final wave dropping in September of 2017, it marked the end of LEGO Dimensions. But there was still so much that could have been. You see, LEGO Dimensions had quite the run, but there was still so much left that wasn't there. For example, where was Lord Vortek? Because despite being the final boss of the game, he never got a minifigure version. He never got a fun pack, he never got a team pack, he never got anything. He never got a level pack, he never got anything. There was no representation for the big boss of the game. In almost every other LEGO game, you can play as the final boss of the game. And some are better than others. I'm looking at you, Galactus from LEGO Marvel Superheroes. But it is absurd to me that you can't play as Lord Vortek. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, how? Well, I'll tell you how. LEGO Dimensions has a absurd amount of cut content. You see, as they realized that Toys to Life was a dying genre and they basically abandoned ship as quick as they could, they left so much, like, half in development that just got scrapped. There's a lot here, but the main stuff that got leaked back in 2018, there was quite a lot. So, Minecraft was going to be another franchise added to the game, along with Avatar: The Last Airbender, How to Train Your Dragon, and 007. What? Like, most likely this would have been wave 10 or 11, whatever, depending on how far in development these were. And there's just, that's kind of crazy, but there's still so much. Like, in terms of packs, there was a Minecraft story pack, which we don't really know a lot of. The Lord Vortek pack, which apparently was being delayed. It was kind of stuck in development limbo, probably because making those translucent blue glitter pieces and those new molds for the helmet and shoulders, man would have been completely, he would have been entirely new pieces and molds, right? So, a bit hard to do. Rowan, North, or Kevin Beckham fun pack, I honestly don't know what that is. A random polybag, a connection pack, whatever those are, and a Beetlejuice level pack. That's why I assumed this would be 10, because Beetlejuice did get a fun pack, but he never got a level pack. So I'm assuming Beetlejuice's level pack was very close to being done, but it wasn't done, so they just rushed the fun pack out there and scrapped the level part. That's kind of rough, but edit, I have no idea how I'm just realizing that this didn't happen in 2023, and the article I was reading was just posted in 2023. Dude, sometimes my stupidity is very visible. So, no, this was not leaked in 2023. This has been known for a long time. Just Too Good made a video about it a long time ago. Okay, this has been known. But I said it was in 2023, so just ignore that. I was off the goofy juice when we're recording this, apparently. 2023, not that long ago, we got a full list of canceled LEGO Dimensions stuff. Updated and added with so much more to talk about. So here is a list of everything and possibly more that got cut. Arrowverse, Avatar The Last Airbender, Captain Underpants The First Epic Movie, Despicable Me, How to Train Your Dragon, which rumors say they actually got the license for. Why didn't we get sets based off that? I have no idea, but apparently they have the license. King Kong vs. Godzilla, Looney Tunes, Mega Man, Minecraft, Pirates of the Caribbean, Shrek, Steven Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Angry Birds the Movie, The Croods, the Lego Ninjago Movie, The Smurfs, The Thunderbirds, 1010, Tom and Jerry, Universal Monsters, and Wonder Woman. I'm assuming not the fun pack, I'm assuming based off the movie, maybe? And apparently there's still a lot more that was, like, that's a shortened list. Like, there was still a lot more. Apparently Madagascar was also there, maybe. Like, there's a lot. Apparently also Ice Age. I forgot about Ice Age. But there was a lot that was happening. And just that just didn't happen. And it is kind of sad to me that that happened, because there's so much potential with LEGO Dimensions. There would have been over 50 different universes in LEGO Dimensions if these all came to fruition. Some of them, like Avatar The Last Airbender and How to Train Your Dragon, make me extremely hyped for nothing, right? Because there's nothing there anymore, right? They've all been scrapped. Oh, could you imagine how cool Shrek would have been? Everyone's always campaigning for LEGO Shrek, and to think that we were this close to it happening. Man, that's rough. Despite LEGO Dimensions only lasting a few years, it was a truly insane experience to live through. LEGO Dimensions has some of my fondest memories with LEGO gaming, and even though it might have not been perfect, and even though it might have been part of a very odd genre that was Toys to Life, it was still a fantastic game and fantastic experience. Replaying it recently has really made me realize how fun this game was, and it sucks that it was cut so soon. I wish we had at least gotten that extra year, because man, Avatar The Last Airbender, How to Train Your Dragon, and Shrek are just a few that would have been just insane to get. And very possible considering we got stuff like Gremlins and Adventure Time. LEGO Dimensions housed a lot, and we're still seeing the dominoes that started to fall because of LEGO Dimensions. Without LEGO Dimensions, there's probably a huge chance that LEGO Sonic, one of the best modern LEGO themes, would have never started. Like, I love the LEGO Sonic sets, and they might not have ever started if LEGO Sonic never was in LEGO Dimensions. And I wish that some other Dimensions packs were made into actual sets. Like, apparently they still have the license to How to Train Your Dragon from the LEGO Dimensions thing. That would be fantastic to get. It could be really cool to get Adventure Time sets, even though that show is kind of over and done with. That would be cool to get, you know? And as LEGO Dimensions has faded into relative obscurity, LEGO Dimensions was peak. Like, LEGO Dimensions was peak for the time. It was a great game. And I think it deserved at least one more year. When it comes to the future, there is still so many people clamoring for LEGO Dimensions 2. A LEGO Dimensions 2 that brings back a lot of these canceled things from the first game and adds more, like Marvel, which was never even brought up as a possibility for LEGO Dimensions. That would be kind of cool to see. We could also bring in some other very interesting IPs that might be newer to the forefront and give us another very unique LEGO gaming experience. And what is my opinion on that? Like, what do I think the chances are of a LEGO Dimensions 2? 0. I think the chances are 0. LEGO Dimensions is part again, the most dead gaming genre. Toys to Life is dead, and it ain't coming back, okay? It ain't making a resurgence. Toys to Life is dead, and I don't think LEGO would touch Toys to Life again with a 10-foot pole. It would never happen, because it would just mean they would lose an absurd amount of money. Because it might appeal to us normal LEGO fans, but the general public ain't gonna care about a Toys to Life game. And that just kinda sucks a little bit, but I think we need to put the copium down and realize that there is no shot LEGO Dimensions would ever happen. Or LEGO Dimensions 2 would never happen. As much as that sucks, I think that doesn't mean that LEGO Dimensions storyline is over. You see, at the end of LEGO Dimensions, there is a very cryptic post-credit scene that people have been speculating on for the past goofy amount of years. But we've been speculating on it for a long while now, and there's a lot to talk about. This, final post-credit scene had some random guy with a red sleeve get morphed and turned into a new Lord Vortek, which is wild, but we all think that the storyline ain't gonna go anywhere because LEGO Dimensions is dead, but that doesn't mean the storyline can't continue. There are so many easy ways to bring back Lord Vortek into the front and give us opportunities to get that Lord Vortek minifigure and pseudo continue the storyline without a Toys to Life game. Now, I think the easiest way to do this, that we don't even really need to elaborate on, is just have Lord Vortek be the main villain of the LEGO Movie 3. Listen, I know that might be wild, but hear me out. It would be the easiest thing ever to do. We don't need an explanation. Lord Vortek has already been to the LEGO Movie universe. I'm pretty sure it's canon, but don't quote me on that. It would be very easy to just bring him in. Okay, if a space princess could be the villain of LEGO Movie 2, LEGO Movie 3, we can bring in Lord Vortek, okay? That would be the easiest way. We don't have to explain anything. He's just here now. It would be the easiest thing, easiest layup for a peak movie. My god, if we saw Lord Vortek on the big screen, I would lose it. I would genuinely lose it. That would probably be the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. God, that would be so fire. But you could also bring him back in just another game, right? You could do a LEGO Dimensions game without Toys to Life. I know that kind of defeats the purpose, but you could make it work. Yeah, you would end up cutting the toy pad or the physical figures, but you could do a more traditional game, or you could just have a normal LEGO game, pick up the story of Lord Vortek, and run with it. There is so many good ways to bring back Lord Vortek into the forefront. I mean, hear me out, you could even somehow bring him in, and you could somehow bring him into Ninjago, okay? I know that might get me crucified by the Ninjago community, but the merge happened, Dimensions have merged. If Shima and Ninjago were both in LEGO Dimensions, and considering those have merged, would it be too far-fetched to say that Lord Vortek somehow ended up in the Ninjago universe? I don't know, maybe. That is just the most game theory, just insane thing I have ever said in my life. Good god. Would that ever happen? Absolutely not. There's no way. Okay, we're just gonna bring back the Overlord for the 100th time. But come on. You can't say that it wouldn't be fire as hell to bring back Lord Vortek into the mainstream. And just bring him anywhere. Just bring him back anywhere. There's so much we could do to bring back the LEGO Dimensions storyline without making a Toys to Life game. And I truly hope that does happen. But hey, that's just a theory. A mega theory. And that's it for this video. Let me take you to the outro. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Before I end, I feel like I do this every single video now, but I want to thank you all. Oh, wow. It has been a wild few weeks, to say the least. Not only did the first video of the month get over 1,000 views, which was pretty crazy, my Monkey Kid Season 5 video is my most popular video on the channel, and it's not even close. My previous most popular video on the channel was my original Monkey Kid video, where I talked about seasons 1 through 4 when I first learned and watched the show. And that was all cool. It got around 3K views. At the time of recording this, the Monkey Kid Season 5 video is on 11K views and rapidly growing. So, yeah, thank you. That's like not even like just good for a small channel. That's good for like a pretty medium-sized YouTube channel. So, I mean, that came out of kind of nowhere. That was awesome. I loved the discussion that was started from that video, from the positive comments to even some of the more negative comments. I'm glad everyone was civil and very nice about it. The Monkey Kid community is seriously one of the best LEGO community sub-communities out there. It's really peak. So, yeah, I'm so glad you all enjoyed it. I'm so glad the reception was fantastic on that video. I did change the schedule a little bit to get this video out a tad sooner. What is happening? I did change the schedule a little bit to get it out sooner because this video I thought was going to be just a banger, and I wanted to follow up my previous 2 videos that were really good with another banger video. Just look at the thumbnail, man. I love this thumbnail I made for this video, by the way. I think it's really cool. So yeah, I hope it paid off. I do still have one more video for the month in the works. Editor's Note 2, Electric Boogaloo. That video got delayed again. That's not happening till August. So, yeah, first video of August. Yay! So this was the final video of July, it turns out. Yeah, this took way longer than expected. So, yeah, sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, and sorry that this video got delayed again. But it will be peak when it comes out, promise. The wait will be worth it, trust. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching this video. See you all next time. Bye-bye.